So I'm going to try a bit of a different approach, try to make this shorter since my last recording was half an hour. And back here, have some of my favorite things. These are a few of my favorite things. Anyways, a few of my favorite things. I'm going to tell some stories about them. Also about some other things that are off screen. To start, this is a journal that I have. Yes, it's very personal. It's very flowery and pretty. You might have seen me with it at some point in time, I have no idea. But while most people will write down their thoughts and emotions, how upset they are, I do something different. I wrote down quotes that mattered to me that I thought sounded really cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip to a random page, and read you one of them, and I'm going to try to talk about it. Ooh, this is a good one. This is a good one. It says, don't look back. If you've got something to do, look forward. Let's see what else. This is a good one too. I want people to know there is nothing more awesome than being yourself. It's a good one. I like this. I don't usually write down the sources, so you're gonna have to look it up. A lesson without pain is meaningless. Ooh, that's deep. I'm gonna have to keep the one in there. All fantasy should have a solid base in reality. Love it. He who is to be a good ruler must have first been ruled. Yes. All right. Secret to humor is surprise. Learned that one a lot. If you're going to hate, at least have a good reason. That was one of my original ones. Ooh, yes. This one. This is one of my favorites. This one of the books over here. Okay, so it reads, it's easy to look at people and make quick judgments about them, their presents and their pasts, but you'd be amazed at all the pain and tears a single smile hides. What a person shows to the world is only one tiny facet of the iceberg hidden from sight. And more often than not, it's lined with cracks and scars that go all the way to the foundation of their soul. Boom. Mic drop. My favorite quotes ever, even if it's long. And so this is my quote book, quote unquote. And I love it because it's very personal, but at the same time it's easy to share with others at a good point in time. And I wrote this because whenever I was younger, like junior high younger, I wanted to be mature because people would address me as such, either because of my namesake or that I was tall or that I tried to be responsible at all times. So I wanted to have physical proof that I was smart, I guess. Something to remind myself that I was cool and important and awesome. And so this next one is one of my favorite books when I was a kid. It's entitled Once Upon a Marigold by Jean Ferris. Really, if you're pronouncing it with the right accent, it's Jean Ferris. But I'm sure it was Jean since it's a woman. And this one is this great cheesy romance that is awesome. About this guy named Christian and this girl named Marigold. And they're both people who think outside the box, that don't really like stereotypical stuff. And so they fall in love. Obviously, geek charming. And they go through this wild adventure. And this book made a big difference to my life because it gave me hope for Prince Charming. And I love it a lot. So, still looking for him. Still hoping he's taller than me. Still hoping he's blonde. And if he's not, I think he'll be okay. But he has to be taller. That's just one of my personal rules. I know I set pretty high standards, but Alright, this next one. You'll notice the thickness of it. You could probably hurt somebody with it. This is my favorite book of all time. I'd like to open up with that. It is Acheron by Sherilyn Kenyon. It is an adult novel. Not very appropriate for most children's. But as you can see, I've annotated it a lot. Like this is the front cover, and this is the back cover. I've given a lot of thought to what I've put down into it, and I love it so much because I can just read these things over and over again and feel inspired. Like I've reread this book at least 4 times. Note that's pretty impressive. Not that I've read the whole thing over all that many times, because there's some sad points in it, but love this book a lot. Probably going to read this one again too. And main character Acheron, he's a god. Thought I should mention. It's loosely based in Greek mythology, and he inspires me because in the mortal world, before he realizes he's a god, he's abused and treated wrongly because people think that his eyes are a bad omen, that he's going to be a terrible person one day, that he's going to destroy the world, you know? And so they abuse him, they send him to bad places, they treat him like dirt, and there's certain people who don't treat him like dirt. But he knows that it's with unpure intentions, and so he doubts everybody. Of course, he meets the love interest, and she's different, she loves him without being awkwardly attracted to him, and they make a bond, and I love that bond. Akamu and Torimu, they're so important to me. And Acheron's just a personal hero because he inspired me to think for myself whenever I thought I had to listen to someone else. So I'm gonna put this one away. This is an official copy of the Epiphany. This was around whenever creative writing was still a thing. And what I love about this is that I got published in it. One of my pictures did. Just have to find it for you guys. Let's see. Where are you, friend? You're here somewhere. Oh, there it is, there it is. So, first I want to describe to you where I found this picture before I show it to you. So, it's actually, if you leave my house and take the first right, it's on the corner, and then keep going straight through the first T. To that pause, there's a tree there. And in this, it's entitled The Tree of Life. They named it for me. It's by Hannah. I loved it, and it looks like this. I didn't even expect that picture to get in. They just asked us to submit stuff, and so I was like, okay. So I turned it in and started doing the thing. It was so exciting. And I was so glad that it was published, that some artwork that I made just hoping to impress somebody did this, that got actually published. That was so cool. And so I'm holding on to this because it's real important. Now we get to the personal part of this. I should see the box first. I'm going to mention a name here. This came from my pen pal Mandy, who lives in Botzen, Germany, and is amazing and really important in my life. Even if we don't talk as much as I hope we would, I still like thinking about her because I met her online through this really weird two-way story writing that I'm not going to go into detail about. But she's made such a difference in my life because I've dreamt of meeting her. I've talked with her a couple of times. We exchanged emails a lot, and then she basically just dropped off the face of the earth. I mean, we stopped talking, and I still send her emails every now and then just to kind of be sentimental and cute. But what I want to do is just show you some things she gave me that first Christmas when we promised to send each other stuff. And so, let's start from the basics. Gotta find the right stuff. Because I have a lot of different things in here. Okay, so first thing I saw was this. This was the Christmas card she sent me. And over here... No, it's somewhere. Oh yeah, that's what it is. On the front, this is in German. I don't know German, some of y'all might. I'm going to hold it up long enough that you can hopefully read it. Okay, long enough. On the inside, she has a translation here written in the same colors. I think it's so cool. And it says, good wishes for the next year. May luck always be in your reach. May good friends always be close. May each coming day bring you a special joy that lightens your life. And then she's got all stuff in pencil. It says, translated from the front side. And she's got a personal note on this side that says, when you receive this package, Christmas, May, and maybe also New Year's have passed already. Nevertheless, I want you to have, or had, wonderful holidays, and I hope for the best next year in 2014. I wish for the both of us to be able to fill it with lots of stories for each other. Hopefully you like this little present package. Have a good time. Your Mandy. You don't know how much that meant to me whenever I got it. And then she's got a post note that says, hello, Hannah. Do you know that awful type of person who can't give a present without explaining what they thought about it? Well, I'm one of these people. And I hope you don't mind if I try to replace it with these Post-its. She's got little Post-its all over the stuff that I held on to and that I plan on laminating. So, yeah, I've got that one there for the actual card. I love it. And then I have another card here, but I gotta find his post-it. Put it somewhere. Nope. Alright, so post-it. Card. Here's the front, again, German. And then the back, translation. But it's reflected on the screen, so you probably won't be able to see it very well. The front, I'm not going to try to translate or try to say it because I'm probably going to butcher it, but the back is the translation. It says, be who you are and say what you feel because those who mind don't matter and those who matter don't mind. Best wishes, Mandy. And I've actually heard this quote before. It's by Dr. Seuss. I don't know what book it's from, but it's from one of his things. The post-it note says, as I saw this one in the shop, I immediately thought of you. The saying on the front can be translated to friends are like stars. You can't always see them, but they are always there. Fitting, right? Plus, I am very sure that the one I added on the back will be of your liking as well. Yee, I love that so much. It's like an unboxing thing, but I've had this for like almost a whole year. Okay, so the next thing was these. Gotta fix it first. To fill you in, these are little plushies of two characters from a show we both love. And what actually introduced us in its own weird way. And the plush post-it note says, I know we have planned to do something else, but I just haven't been able to finish the book just yet. I still need some time, so I hope you can have patience with me. I promise to finish it soon. I still have the patterns laying around, so I thought this pair of Italy's, they're supposed to represent the Italian nation. I hope this pair of Italy's also could be a nice gift for you. I hope you like them nevertheless. that was all she sent me, but oh my god, I loved that. That was the best care package I've ever gotten. And so I've held on to it. And so later, the following summer, she sent me this postcard from the Baltic Sea. I'm going to read you what it says in the back. It says, sunny greetings from the Baltic Sea. Surprise! I hope postcards also belong to the kind of material, or the kind of mail my dear Hannah enjoys to receive. We're quite lucky with the weather, meaning I need tons of sunblock and at least twice as much shade to hide from the sun. Enjoy your summer. I really hope this card reaches you soon. Mandy. And of course, we gave each other our addresses. We could send stuff. We trusted each other enough. We had talked on Skype. So I have some of my just kind of personal keepsakes in here. So one thing that I did is I sent her a package because for one, I felt bad that my package was a bit delayed, and for two, we kind of had a distancing after a while because I failed to send the packages and I got really busy. So instead I sent hers for her birthday, and one of the things I made were matching necklaces, and this is my necklace. Well, I think this was a replacement because I lost my old one, but this is a replica of my necklace, and the thing is that we met over an RP. And to fill you in, it's not dirty, really. I was one character and she was another. Oh, it still smells like sorry. And so I was one character and she was another. And the two of us just kind of went back and forth and talked about everything we were doing and how cool it was, and we were writing in mood with these characters, and it was a romantic RP, so our characters fell in love, and they had some fun times. And so I had a couple of lines from that RP that she wrote that I just fell in love with. I thought were so cool. Even if English wasn't her first language, man, she could write like a boss. And so I took my favorite lines from her and put them in a necklace like this. And then I took what I thought were my best lines of the RP and put them in one for me. And so one side is like sweet and sentimental, and the other side is kind of for humor and for personal benefit. And I meant to make it a friendship necklace since writing is how we met, and so boom, friendship necklace. I paraded it around and showed it to all people I know. Thought it was pretty cool, and I also sent her a plush from a fair that happens here. Well, I call it a fair. It's actually the Robert Welch 5K. And next thing I want to show y'all is another gift, a couple of gifts actually, that I got from my friend Paige. First one is this right here. And this relates to the RP actually, because these are the two characters that me and Mandy were. Mandy was this one, I was the girl. And I love it because Paige, she knows my birthday is May 27th now, but she made it for my birthday last year and it says March 27th. She was so ashamed of herself for getting it wrong, but I just thought it made it that much better. And so she's got an Italian on one side and German on the other. If the stars burn out and no longer shine, I'll still search for heaven in your eyes. And I just thought, oh, it's so romantic and so cool. I just love her art so much. Every time I see it, I mean, I might judge the proportions every now and then, but when I look back at it, it's like, this is so perf. I'm going to hold on to this too. Just because it's so endearing and personalized. This is also a card I got from her. It was a few years back, though. It was partially for Valentine's Day, partially for my birthday. And it's got a whole bunch of couples and drawings of people that I love. I'm not going to go into too much detail, since I'm sure you want to understand. This, I'm sure y'all know, or don't know, is the third wheel. Because usually I wasn't dating somebody, I was kind of just in the background. And Paige, she's really attractive, so she dates often. Not that I'm necessarily bothered by that all the time, it just might be kind of rude whenever I'm feeling down and it's like, oh my god, my boyfriend did the sweetest thing. But that's not what we're talking about. Third wheel. They just kind of found it at school one day, and so they gave it to me. It's like, this is your third wheel, this is yours, because you're the third wheel. And I giggled because of it, but I still love it. I'm still going to hold on to it. And the next thing I have is something that I gave to friends, but I had extras of. It is the anti-depression kit for a dear friend, and it's got a couple of things, and I'm going to open it up and read to y'all a little card I included in it. It's got one of each thing that's listed in it, so keep that in mind. And I sent one to Mandy, too, with her care package. So it says, a penny so you will never have to say I'm broke, an eraser so you can make all your mistakes disappear, a rubber band to stretch yourself beyond your limits, a string to tie things together when everything falls apart, a bouncy ball because even in the worst situations, you can always bounce back, a toy to play with so the kid in you never grows up, a tiara to help your Prince Charming find you, and then some hugs and kisses to remind you that someone out there cares about you. And it was just, I saw something online that was similar to this, but not exactly the same, and I was like, you know what, I want to do that, because I want to be a cute, sentimental person. I don't know how surprising that is, but happens to me all the time. So I gave them to my friends on New Year's, because New Year's was kind of our time just to be with each other. And next thing I have, this is my pet mouse. His name is Cheddar. And I don't know when I got him, but I know I've had him for forever. He's basically my favorite stuffed toy, right next to Ellie, the elephant, who's missing one leg. And I would just play with him a lot whenever I was a kid. And whenever friends would come over, they would be like, oh, it's this. And I'd let them play around. Like, I remember when I was young, his tail, I know you can't feel it, but it's very crusty. Because I would chew on it as a kid all the time. Like, my brother pulled around a toaster. I chewed on a stuffed animal's tail. We're special. We were special kids back in the day. And I don't know why I named him Cheddar. I'm sure it was because I thought, mouse, cheese, cheddar. Ah, I felt so original. And that was really cool, really fun. I enjoyed it a lot. Next thing for my box of memories is this. This is the 4th place ribbon I got in my first and only UIL competition. And it was in Ready Writing in 7th grade. Got 4th place. I read that from the back of this because I don't remember very well. But I want to describe to you the way I wrote the paper. Because, in truth, I had never competitively written before. And so my teacher told me, you should try this. And I was like, you know what? I will, because you're a cool teacher, and I love you, man. So I did that, and I went in there, and it was something about being intoxicated and making good and bad decisions. So what I did is I wrote the first paragraph about how one decision affects more than just you. And then I told a story about this guy who crashes into this kid, kills the kid, and then in one paragraph talked about his perspective and how he goes to jail and never forgets it. And the next paragraph talked about the kid who had a great life up until that point and just abruptly stopped. I talked about the kid's parents and how the parents are devastated. I talked about the kid's friends and fellow students who are crushed because someone in their life is gone for no good reason. And so it all ties together to where one decision is bigger than just yourself. I didn't think it was good at the time. I mean, I turned it in, rough draft and all, terrible fragments. I didn't expect anything. There were 33 students competing, and in my first competition, where I didn't even know what a thesis statement was, I got 4th place. Needless to say, I flaunted it too much more than I should have. And so people were mad at me for that, but I still feel pride in it. Next thing is this. I'm sure some of you are going to recognize it. This is my friendship bracelet. And I remember my mom got into paracord crafting, and so she started making these, and I was like, oh, those are so cool, Mom, because they would stay together, and they clip, so, you know, you can make one and attach it to whatever you wanted to. So for my friends, I made these black and yellow ones. I don't know why I chose black and yellow, I just thought they were cool colors. And I gave them to what I call the inner sanctum, the 5 closest ones to me. I sent one to Mandy too, so sorry, I'm thinking about Mandy right now. And I mentioned to her how awesome it was and how cool it had been. And so, I wanted to share something kind of personal with her. That's why I sent her one of these. And so, next thing from the box of memories is this $2 bill. It's pretty cool. As far as I remember, my dad gave it to me. Don't know when or why, but he gave it to me. So I said I wanted one, and I wanted to be able to find one. So he's like, here, found one on my dresser. So I said, okay. And I held on to it, and I'm putting it in my box, so that way I don't forget about it. Because, don't you forget about me. Don't. And, so yeah, that was the next thing, and I love it because, you don't see $2 bills everywhere. And I remember, actually, there was a competition in one of my teacher's classes to make the best something or whatever. And apparently I won. Don't know how. So he pulls out his wallet, and he has all these $2 bills lined up, and he hands it to me so I can go buy an ice cream at lunch, and I was like, what? Like, I was like, why does he even have a lot of those on them? Because at the time I thought they were like as rare as a blue moon or a unicorn. So I'm in shock and awe over this whole thing. And I made myself laugh a lot. But it wasn't something I was necessarily expecting, but it happened anyways. I'm repacking these things, so forgive me. But it was really cool, and the thing is that in the last couple of weeks, I haven't been trying to build objects or get more materials. What I've been trying to do is to be more realistic, I suppose, and build experiences, because I know when you join the Navy or you move into an Army, space is a hot commodity, and so having a lot of things that have memories attached to them is kind of a bad idea. So I told myself I was going to do something different, not be like everybody else, and motivate myself in the best way I know how. Made for a fun time, pissing people off and breaking rules, worrying parents and teachers alike. And so, yeah, and so I have a lot of stories to share now. Like, I can probably make conversation with almost anybody with all I've learned as of recent. And so I hope this offered enough explanation for the movie, because I didn't do it because it was a lot more than I expected. There were too many kinks in the system. I didn't do as much as I knew I had to do. And so this might look like an unboxing video, but this is just kind of reminiscing over like childhood, I guess, and me before today, because I turned 18 today. I was officially 18 about 7.5 hours ago. It's 10:06 right now, because according to my mom, I was born at 2:30 in the afternoon. Don't know how long it took, but I was born at 2:30 in the afternoon. And apparently I was in a rush to get out there because she didn't get sedated or anything. I just slid her like a water slide. This is probably too personal, so you can skip to the actual part. But what I did for my parent project is I performed a couple of spoken poems, one for my parents, one for my teacher, one for my fellow classmates. And it was really cool and really fun. And so, I wanted to offer up a little something beforehand so that way maybe you can get endeared to me, maybe you can understand why I didn't make the full-length movie I was planning to. And this will probably be about 40 minutes long or so as long as a full-length movie with commercials. But I hope you enjoy it, because it came from the heart. It was really hard to articulate that in the right way, but I did it, and I'm proud of myself. And I hope that whenever you watch it, you feel inspired, be it to go get something to eat, or work on that project that you hate working on, or to say I love you to that one person you never say it to enough. So yeah, hope you enjoy the whole spoken poetry thing. Not something I do very often, but so here goes nothing, right? Catch you on the flip side, I guess at the end of the video. Whew, yeah, I'm bad at endings, so bye-bye.